Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. We begin with breaking news tonight on the desperate search for a missing Launceston teenager. Police have just confirmed they've discovered a body in bushland that's believed to be Billy Ray Waters. Our reporter Sean McComish joins us now live from Mayfield. Sean, good evening. What's developed in the case?
Joe, police have confirmed a body has been found as part of the investigation into missing Launceston teenager Billy Ray Waters. He was last seen on Holbrook Street in Invermay on August 4. Earlier this week, police went public with a plea for information. At around 2:30 this afternoon, they found the body of a man. Formal identification is yet to happen, but the body is believed to be Billy. Earlier today, before the find, we spoke to police about a criminal twist in their investigation.
We've received some information which has definitely led us down a criminal investigation track. I want to reiterate that police are still very hopeful of finding Billy alive, but the investigation has definitely taken a criminal turn.
Police say a short time later 2 youths were taken into custody. They're now assisting them with their inquiries. Investigations are continuing. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Joe?
OK, thank you very much for that report there. Sean McComish joining us there from Mayfield. A South Korean delegation is visiting the state with the hopes of boosting trade ties with Tasmania. Our relationship with China is also in the spotlight, with the country embarking on a local PR campaign amid the political chaos in Hong Kong.
Touring Tasmania's world-class research facilities, this delegation of South Korean stakeholders at the University of Tasmania catching up after a 2017 trade mission.
He really would like to cooperate with Tasmania for many, for example, salmon, oysters, and especially they're really impressive about the salmon, the facility.
It's our ability to share that research knowledge and understanding with other parts of the world that will help in terms of breakthroughs in those key science research areas.
Tasmanian exports to South Korea have almost doubled in 2 years. These delegates promoting the importance of our trade with Asian markets.
He heard about that Chinese and Tasmanian that cooperation as well, so they want to be like the close to Tasmania like China.
China upping its public relations campaign here amid highly publicised tensions in Hong Kong. A local business group welcoming this ad in the state's largest newspaper today, spruiking China's relationship with Tasmania.
China is a huge country, and so many ties that we have between the people have nothing to do with what's going on in politics right now.
The state government heralding a strong relationship following the Chinese president's famous visit in 2014.
China is a really important trade partner. A third of our exports go there, and there are strong cultural connections as well. So it's important that we continue to foster those relationships, making sure, of course, that they benefit our state.
Tasmania is obviously of special interest to the Chinese government. They're spending a lot of money in our local paper trying to win hearts and minds. We should be a bit concerned about that.
I think it does no good to say, to put our head in the sand about our relationship with our largest trading partner. They are our largest trading partner. They're likely to be so in the future.
Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
A man is on the run and 3 people are in custody after an alleged aggravated burglary at Newtown. A helicopter circled low over Hobart this afternoon as police responded to the incident on Boa Vista Road. Emergency crews were called to the scene at 11 a.m, arresting 3 people nearby shortly after, including 2 youths. Police are still searching for the 4th person, described as being a male, about 25 years old, 180 centimetres tall and wearing all black. Investigators are urging anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. A new pilot program to train the nation's police dogs has been hailed a success, with 4 Tasmanian-bred German Shepherds graduating today. The 12-month intensive program is a joint effort with Victoria to ensure only the very best dogs are working on our front line.
Meet Tasmania Police's newest graduates. Part of a pilot program with Victoria Police, these Tasmanian-bred German Shepherds are off to report for duty.
And people may not realise, but police dogs have to be trained and socialised for about 12 to 15 months before they're ready for a police course.
They have been fostered since puppies and looked after by police volunteers. During that time, they've been through an intensive development program.
The program's lasted for about 12 months and it's involved us teaching the dogs the required skills and shaping them in the direction to try and make really good police dogs.
It takes a lot of work to do that, so volunteers from Tasmania Police and volunteers like Ben have helped with that process. And it means that these dogs are well socialised, they're very stable as you can see, very friendly dogs, and they're ready to start the next part of their career.
The next adventure for these German Shepherds involves travelling interstate, with 2 dogs going to the Northern Territory and 2 to Queensland.
The success rate for this program at the moment is looking like it's going to be 100%. We've got 2 dogs that have been successfully sold to a police force, and the other 2 are heading up to Queensland to undertake further training with a specific organisation.
Police dogs can be used for a range of skills, including drug and explosives detection and tracking. Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
A new fleet of buses has rolled into Cradle Mountain as the iconic attraction continues to struggle under the weight of growing tourism numbers. The environmentally friendly hybrid vehicles are a first in the world, designed to take passengers right inside the famous national park.
They might stand out in colour, but they barely make a noise. This new fleet of environmentally friendly shuttle buses is the latest addition to Cradle Mountain National Park.
We want to support and ensure that visitors, when they are here, have first-class, world-class experiences. And this is another step that we're taking to ensure that that occurs.
McDermott's Coaches has invested more than $2 million into the Volvo buses, which takes tourists between the visitor centre and Dove Lake.
The passenger will be able to get on the vehicle in complete silence, and the vehicle will take off from that stop in complete silence. So we're not having that big rush of diesel fumes or anything like that.
As a government and as operators and as a company, we're all interested in ensuring that our environmental footprint is reduced.
The head of the Volvo Bus Corporation flew from Sweden for the launch.
This is innovative technology that we are putting in service. It's part of our quest in creating sustainable public transport.
This is the first time a hybrid public transport vehicle has been used in a national park anywhere in the world. The government says it's currently working through its feasibility process with plans to build a cableway at the park and its long-term sites.
I think there's probably the opportunity for both things to work hand in hand. Visitor numbers are growing, so I guess there's opportunity for other options around the place.
Letitia Wallace, 7 Tasmania News.
As the Royal Hobart Wine Show draws to a close, judges have a top tip. They say the 2018 vintage has shaped up well. Officials announced category and medal winners at a trade event, with more than 50% of wines being awarded bronze, standard or above.
2018 vintage has proven to be very strong in Australia. In terms of Tasmanian awards, the Pinot Noirs have really been shining this year, so it is the strength of Tasmania and it's one thing that really shines through.
Major award winners will be announced at a dinner this Saturday night. They've got 4 wheels, reach astonishing speeds and regularly crash through barriers. But the drivers always walk away unscathed. In fact, they don't even wear helmets.
That's the high-octane roar of a fun-sized Formula One. To the untrained eye, it's a shed, but to radio-control racers, this is Symmons Plains.
And the action is just as hot, the crashes can be just as big, just the damage is less expensive and quicker to fix.
Starting tomorrow, some of the country's best RC racing pros will perch themselves here for the Tasmanian titles. Today was a chance to test the track and tinker with the toys. Taking on the tough corners takes more than love.
A lot of patience, a lot of mental work. If your mental state's not there, your cars will be off.
It's just hand-eye coordination, really, at the end of the day. You've just got to be able to judge your jumps, judge your speed, approach your corners and everything.
They might look small, but with the right set of batteries, these bad boys can get over 100. although it's not all Need for Speed.
Here, most of the guys don't have them set up like that, because otherwise at the end of this main straight they'll punch a hole in the shed instead of making the corners.
And of course, you don't need to wear a seatbelt. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Supporters of convicted murderer Susan Neal Fraser are marking a grim anniversary. They held vigils across the Hobart CBD almost 10 years on from her arrest. Tuesday marks the anniversary Neal Fraser was charged with the murder of her partner Bob Chappell, who went missing from the couple's yacht off Sandy Bay. She was found guilty by a jury, but after years of legal challenges has been granted another leave to appeal.
North Hobart's assistant coach says his side faces a big test this weekend. The Demons, coming off the bye, will take on the in-form North Launceston tomorrow at Invermay Park. After an upset win over Launceston 3 weeks ago, the Demons lost heavily to Kingborough. Aaron Vince says the side is keen for a strong finish to 2019.
We've still got a very young group, but we'll continue to build for the last couple of weeks. Yeah, we want to finish off on a high, that's for sure.
A win for North Hobart could move them off the bottom of the ladder depending on other results. Round 24 of the NPL kicks off tonight with the Kingborough Lions hosting the Hobart Zebras in the so-called Safari Derby. A win for the Lions would see them move into 5th place, while a Zebras victory could see them claim 3rd place for at least 24 hours. Both teams say wins in the final month will give them confidence heading into 2020.
We can keep improving every game, and that's about all we can ask for at the moment to set ourselves up for next season.
But at the start of the year when we had all them draws, they could have easily been wins and it would have changed the whole league really.
Kick-off at Lightwood Park is at 8:15. Triathlete Jake Birtwistle has missed out on automatic selection for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Entering first on the start line, the Tasmanian needed a podium finish to guarantee his spot in the Aussie team, but he finished 11th in the windy conditions. Birtwistle later said he was disappointed with his run leg, but it was a good chance to see what Tokyo has in store should he eventually make the Olympic side.
It's still nice to be here 12 months out from the Games and get a bit of a feel for the course and the racing and I guess what we're going to expect next year.
Birtwistle's next chance to impress Olympic selectors will be at the World Triathlon Series Grand Final at the end of the month. 2 Tasmanians have each received $5,000 to advance their coaching careers. 19-year-old Abby Savage will put the money towards lifting her accreditation as a swimming coach.
I used to be a swimmer, but I got chronic fatigue, so I can't swim anymore, and coaching allows me to stay in the sport and hopefully influence other young swimmers to coach when they can't swim anymore.
While hockey coach Jess Blake says she wants to bring more young female players into the game.
Hockey is something that I love to play and I think it's a great sport, but at the same time I think it also develops an opportunity for a mentoring role in people's lives.
It's the second time the Women in Sport coaching scholarships have been awarded. A new advisory board has been unveiled to guide a Tasmanian team into the National Basketball League. NBL boss Larry Kesselman will lead the new group. He'll be supported by former Hobart Chargers boss David Bartlett, Basketball Tasmania CEO Chris McCoy and Launceston Tornadoes chair Janie Finlay. Business Identity Steve Old and Luke Martin round out the group. Mr Kesselman says the board will work towards making basketball the #1 sport in the state. And Sprayton's Mystic Journey has returned to Melbourne to begin her Cox Plate campaign. Adam Trinder guided the 4-year-old mare around Flemington today ahead of tomorrow's Group 2 PB Lawrence Stakes at Caulfield.
I thought first travel for the season with a little bit of nervous energy. She just potentially may not have settled in well as what she has in the past, but as we stand here early morning, she settled in really well.
Mystic Journey is equal favourite for the Cox Plate after shooting to stardom with wins in the Australian Guineas and the All-Star Mile.
Good evening. A front moved across the state this morning, bringing in rain and clouds statewide. A high of 11 across Hobart, Launceston and Devonport today, Burnie 14. Other centres today, Ouse and Smithton both reaching a high of 13, 12 at Strawn, King Island and Lowhead, Flinders Island 16 and 11 at St Helens. On the close-up shows a cloud band streaming over over Tasmania and gradually moving away to the northeast. Further out, a mid to high level cloud band is stretching from inland WA to southern New South Wales. A more active cloud band can be seen approaching southwest WA. Tomorrow, a high develops over Victoria and Tasmania, while today's front moves up the New South Wales coast. North to northeasterly winds tomorrow 10 to 20 knots in the morning and early afternoon, swells up to 2.5 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. On to the warnings, and a strong wind warning is current for western coastal waters from Low Rocky Point to Stanley. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart a mostly sunny 15, 13 at Medina, Oatlands 11. In the north, a high of 14 for Launceston, 13 at Devonport, Lyweenie a late shower or two. Burnie tomorrow a light shower or two, partly cloudy across Strawn and Marrawar. A high of 14 at St Helens and Orford tomorrow, Swansea a partly cloudy 15. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now: Sunday, rain about the north and west, increasing statewide during the day. Monday, showers more frequent about the west and south, snowfalls to around 400 metres, and Tuesday, showers more frequent about the west and south. Capital cities looking sunny across Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane tomorrow, Perth 15 and a possible shower in Adelaide. And on to current temperatures: Hobart mostly cloudy and 9, Launceston looking partly cloudy and 8, and Devonport mostly clear and 9. That's all in weather tonight. Back to you, Joe.
That's all from the team for now. Have a lovely evening. We'll see you a little later with updates. Good night.